Hello and welcome to Wrestling with Horror AEW Dynamite from Greenville, South Carolina. Tonight, July 31st, 2024. Etep right here with you, joined by AngelousDraven, Chris Fisk, super fan Adam Shawhan, Brutal Morningwood, and Vinnieart. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hey,
Thanks.
We've got a new intro for the AEW shows. What's up, Manliness? Hey, Keely, good to see you guys. Welcome all the new subscribers. 1856 now. We'll hit 200 here in a month or so, or 2,000. We'll hit 200 subs here very soon. We're a new channel, just started yesterday. But welcome, folks. Tony, it's Vinnie Artemella, he says. That's right, Vinnie Artemella. That's actually not bad. That's not bad. Yeah. But so we just got done watching Dynamite, but before we get into the review, we got to handle business, and that's thanking those of you out there, channel members, who help keep the lights on in the studio here. So let me say thank you. So we started tonight in Greenville, South Carolina, out with an MJF promo, which is never a bad way to start the night.
Nope.
You want to lead with your strength, put your best foot forward, and they definitely do that every time MJF walks out of that tunnel first off to start the night. What's up, Heat 3? I turned this house into a mansion. Mone Hall of Fame. We all agree money changes everything. Oh my God. We'll deprogram. Wait, hang on a second. We got some new stuff here for because whenever I posted, and I got a couple of AEW videos I'm working on. Whenever I post an AEW video, I get a lot of this in the comments. I get an awful lot of that. And boy, did that blood and guts one stir it up the other day.
Yeah, did. I was looking at it. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's fantastic. But no, MJF come out, cut a good promo.
Fantastic.
The American Championship, as it is now.
He's the American hero.
He is one could say the greatest American hero. I don't know.
Believe it or not.
I'm walking on air, never thought it would be so free. William Cat on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me.
It's just MJ.
I always go to the Seinfeld. Believe it or not, I'm not home with George. Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Leave a message at the beep. All right. But to bring this all back, MJF. Okay. Yeah. So comes out, cuts a good promo. And he starts digging into Bruv. Starts digging into Bruv. Mm-hmm. He got good. One could say it was cheap heat with the crowd, but it worked. It worked. With the way he conducts business as a heel, that it kind of comes off like in a good way, the way Mick Foley did when you say Worcester, Mass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it's a 180 because it's a heel face thing. But so Will Ospreay runs in and chases MJF off and proceeds to cut a absolutely just boring promo. Like this guy, like my God, don't ever give. And I know I want him to get better on the microphone because his in-ring work is fantastic. It is a lot of flippy shit, but if and we'll get into the match, which I have.
Another thing that annoyed me too with his promo is he's supposed to be the face in this.
Yeah,
and he's like lying about like how like MJF isn't working for that belt and adding prestige to it. And it's like, dude, Orange Cassidy never defended it overseas.
Nope.
Fenix never did when he won it for the little short time. Mox didn't, and neither did Ospreay. The only person that has ever defended it overseas is Pac, and MJF has 2 matches already lined up overseas or internationally. I should say.
Yeah. Well,
so it's like he's doing more for that belt than you ever did, or anybody that has held the title has ever did.
Mhm.
So it's like you're supposed to be the face. At least be honest with this shit and do something better of a promo than try to call out that he doesn't add prestige to the title when that's a lie.
Yep. Yeah, this is the problem with these guys is, like I said before, Will Ospreay is basically playing a video game during his wrestling matches, just pressing buttons. And the promos are always very generic in video games, you know. So that's Will Ospreay's default, is just a generic, goes nowhere promo. It's ambling. There's just nothing. It's like, okay, come on, let's reel it back in. You're getting way out in left field. You know, he was trying to be a baby face by, you know, still talking, you know, oh, the Americans, oh, I like you guys, you know. And MJF is obviously, you know, he's the heel, but he's an American.
Yeah, and they're chanting USA in the crowd.
Yeah, and Kyle Felcher, Mr. Sky Blue, came down, and he unfortunately got a hold of a microphone. And the only thing he should ever say to
the Lance Archer match.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. So Lance Archer and Ospreay, they've worked before. Ospreay's 2-1 against Archer, and Ospreay. Okay. So I said Ospreay barely fucking sells anything for any length of time during this match, and it just made me just. Archer fucking came out hot, choke slammed him. He's fucking just beating the pin. Ospreay's not selling anything.
Nope.
He fucking sold it for a couple seconds and, oh, I can do a fucking Spanish fly off the top fucking rope after I've just been getting the piss kicked out of me. I should be pissing blood. And yeah, and then the top rope Spanish fly. That took so long to fucking set up. It was utterly just stupid. Archer, they should have put Archer over, you know. And if you want to put Ospreay over, put him over by DQ. Archer just loses his shit, fucking grabs a chair,
especially after all the matches Ospreay's been losing. So it like makes sense. So it would set him in going to Wembley as being like the underdog as far as like matches go, and then you know. He pulls an upset or whatever.
He would look like a more sympathetic baby face if he took a couple L's going in. Like you can and this is the thing with Will Ospreay. He can afford to lose clean and not lose much steam right now.
Yep.
Because the crowd really, the AEW, the diehard, they like Will Ospreay. They do, because that style is exactly their cup of tea. So he can lose clean and not lose momentum. You should have put Lance Archer, or like I said, or just put Ospreay over by DQ. But again, diminishing another big man is just a fucking. It's like a trope in AEW. It is. It's an absolute fucking trope, and it's to the detriment. I'm going to do a video about that's going to be like the burial of the big man in AEW. That's gonna. I'm gonna do a video on that one.
When when they inevitably go to Max, I'm like starting from like day one and watching through because I want to see if they have always done that from day one.
Yeah, every match with a big guy.
Everybody always said that they started in 2019.
Yeah.
They said, was it 2021 was like their best year?
Something like that was with Punk.
Yeah, that was their best year, was their third year, which was 2021. But this match, Ospreay, I said Ospreay went over in a trash match. He hit his hidden blade twice after doing some other shit that I just couldn't remember, because that's the thing about a match with
he did a bunch of nothing really in the match.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
He did like maybe 3 or 4 moves like that whole match almost. And Lance did some pretty brutal shit to him. Yep. And he just gets back up. He barely sold anything. Like he literally stomped him standing to the ground. And then immediately afterwards, he's getting him in a fucking aerial move. And it's like, what? Yep. You didn't even sell any of that. Like, you have this big dude fucking just destroying you, and you're just going to get right the fuck back up like that and do nothing. And like, yeah, it's ridiculous. And then when he does get some offense, it's like a little kick, and it like puts him on his ass. It's like, what?
Yeah, he kicked him right out of the ring. Archer had just hit I think it was like a second choke slam and some other big move, and Ospreay does a not a Pele kick, but kind of like and hit him, and Archer fucking went out of the. I'm like, and if you guys want to see our reactions to this shit, it'll be up on Patreon tomorrow with a whole bunch of new stuff that we've got we got Do or Die show after the show episode 5 or 6, I think it's 6, and and then the episode of Dynamite from earlier. So, but yeah, so this is when Felcher. I said Kyle Felcher promo equals shite. That was
because after he beat Lance, MJF comes back and starts beating the shit out of MJF, and is about ready to hit him with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, and then in comes Felcher to break it up with Don Callis.
Yeah, because MJF hit Ospreay with a brain buster. Hit him with the brain buster. Yeah, he was teeing off with the ring, and then Felcher came running in and ruined it. And then he got into it with Callis, and Don Callis is looking at him, and Felcher's like, "I'm fucking sky blue, for God's sakes. That's gotta count for something, bruv.
You make me happy.
Go get me some bangers and mash."
That's British, not Australian.
Yeah, he's Australian. Oi.
Oh,
some room.
Yeah, Aussie. Oi.
That's right. He wants some Bonda blooming onions.
He wants a blooming onion and some room, mate.
What are you still doing up? Go to fucking bed.
And a nice soil.
How about a nice VB?
Or loving he lives in a penal colony, fella. All right.
Wonder if he's from Victoria.
One of the elves of Brisbane. Never mind. MJF versus Felcher next week on Dynamite, and MJF's like, "You want it right now? You want it right now?" No. I love that. I love it. It never gets old, because the crowd's fucking stupid. They buy it every time. Every time. It's like, it's not going to happen right now, right? Yeah. So
I get excited, and
I know that's why That's why when the AEW fans get all excited, we're all sitting over here like just like laugh, just like this is what it looks
But
like.
it was funny too because he's like taking all his shit off like Ric Flair.
Yep.
getting all hyped up, and then he's just
This
like,
was-
no.
Yeah.
Angry Orville Redenbacher there.
Right.
So we went from this, and I don't know. I think there was something backstage, but I wasn't really paying attention. We would go to the Learning Tree, and they're backstage, and Big Bill has a cake, and Creighton Duke was there from Jason Goes to Hell, the worst Friday the 13th movie, and Chris Jericho was there, and you guys know why Chris Jericho was there, because
I gotta have my TV time, right? Am I right?
and Bill had the cake, and it was 102 days as FTW champion for Chris Jericho.
He's the longest reigning for the world champion.
Yep, that's right. He is. He is.
I gotta have my TV time, right? Am I right?
Thanks,
I didn't even mean to hit that button. My notepad fell on it, and it worked.
That's fine.
It was either that one, or it would have hit the Chris Jericho. That doesn't work for me,
That
brother.
doesn't work for me, brother.
Or this one.
Black girl magic.
We'll get to
And then-
we'll get to
Yeah,
that later.
Basically said he has Shibata next. And he's gonna fuck
Yep.
him up, basically. And then normally he was like, somebody gets a pie in the face, and that didn't happen. But they ended up giving the fat interviewer the cake instead.
Yeah. Did what's his name? Malo Ronaldo?
I don't remember his name.
Remember him
Gesundheit.
from SmackDown?
Uh-huh.
That guy looks like Ronaldo gained weight. Looks like he put on 100 pounds and now he works for AEW. Either that or it's the evil vampire from 30 Days of Night with Josh Hartnett, the guy that played him, the one that got shot on the shitter in Yellowstone that tried to kill Kevin Costner's family.
Yep.
His son Casey shot him on the toilet.
I've never seen Yellowstone.
Oh, I think I bought every season for the wife.
Oh, damn.
But yeah, he looks like Ronaldo, a fat guy, and he got the cake, and he said it wasn't that bad. Now back to you, Excalibur, the worst fucking commentator in wrestling, you sack of shit.
He's like the micro machine guy when it comes to commentating. Like he just spouts off a bunch of shit that nobody cares about or
Yeah.
pays attention to.
Yeah,
Ouch, man. Ouch.
right. So after that, we went to Team Vision Dojo is fucking garbage and Chase and Rance is trash, and Statlander with Stokely Hathaway. What? Did I just have a tick? Statlander versus Stokely Hathaway versus Willow in an eliminator match, which is a god awful concept. It's fucking stupid. Just say, hey, we're gonna have a number one contenders match.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know,
But they don't
I
want to call it that. I don't know if the Fed has rights to that, calling it that or what, but I don't know. But it's dumb.
Yeah.
Eliminator match always tells me that whoever is in the match against them isn't winning anyway, except in the rare occasions when somebody actually does win, and you're like, oh, okay.
And that was the case tonight because Statlander ended up winning. But not before Willow kicked out of a fucking gorgeous 450 from Statlander. That was
Everything
that
about
was nice.
Statlander is gorgeous.
Yep.
Yeah.
And her little short king.
Stokely, the king of the Simps.
Yeah, the king of the
Yeah.
Sims.
Stat went over with a chain shot. She decked old Willow Nightingale with a chain, and Stokely shoved it in his back pocket as they were raising Statlander's finely developed arm in victory, and Willow lay there on the ground blubbering. And so Statlander now she's the number one contender for a shot at the CMLL women's title. But now that Willow's holding it, it's the CMXLL or XXL title.
Would you say she was huffing and puffing out of her blowhole?
Is it the Dos Equis title?
The sea was angry that day, my friends.
There was a movie on Moby Dick, and what's his name? Spider-Man Tom Holland had to go inside the blowhole because he was the smallest one who could fit in. And her laying there just reminded me of that.
God damn it.
So,
No, I like her, though. I think she's pretty, and she's a good wrestler. She just needs to lose a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
Stat is going to get a title shot now. What do you think the chances are that they put the CMLL on her?
I don't know. Are they doing it? I wonder if they're doing it at Wembley or they're going to do it at CMLL.
Right.
It would make more sense to do it at Wembley.
Yeah.
Because then you get eyes on CMLL at such a large show. And then, yeah.
And that's kind of a payoff to CMLL for them allowing their belt to change hands on your pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, so Willow is out, and Stokely and Statlander head back after he helps her, or she helps him off the apron.
Yeah, and they laugh at Willow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and from that we went to a Daniel Veganson promo, and just
it was just rambling, and then finally Swerve came out and saved the day.
Yeah, he got the crowd was chanting Brie because of, you know, he's Mr. Brie Bella. Was it? Yeah, it's Brie he's married to. So yeah, they were chanting Brie, and it was just like,
did they really chant it? I didn't notice that.
They did. They chanted Brie. Yeah, it was like, oh god, that was cringe. The whole fucking thing. Yeah, Swerve came out and saved it though, thank God.
Oh yeah.
He, you know, basically said, you know, I respect you. You know, if you were facing anybody else, I'd support you, but you're facing me. And he said, it ended up being a career versus title match, which lets me know Brian Veganson ain't going over.
Yeah,
he's not going over. That's good.
And
That's
if he
good
does,
thing.
I'll be very surprised.
I'll be shocked.
So,
I'll be disappointed, and my day will be ruined.
Why?
This is a perfect opportunity for Swerve to get the rub from a veteran. You know, somebody that's very highly regarded around the world. I don't know why, but
when's the next pay-per-view? When will they be fighting? Because his contract's almost up.
It is up. He's a free agent.
It is up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And that's why I said he's just going to work without he's got a handshake deal with Tony Khan right now. Khan's probably, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the 20th of August.
Yeah, he ain't working for free. He's getting something in exchange for services. You know, he might be on a 1 month temporary deal. You know what I mean? They structured something for him if his contract is indeed up right now. So he can, you know, keep working and, you know, do his travel thing, because that's a lot of expense. But
well, look at it this way, right? We knew that he was going to be done in 2025. So no matter what the story is, because, you know, with wrestling, there's so many darn works, you can't never tell what's the truth, the true truth. But no matter what, I mean, even if he does get the title, he's only got less than 6 months. You know what I mean? Because by 2025, he's supposed to be completely done.
Yeah.
And if they do let him have a good little run, man, what better title for him to have than this one? I mean, that's, you know, it's not going to hurt MJF to lose. Or, I mean, no, wait, that's Swerve's belt. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got confused for a second. I was thinking the one that MJF had, but yeah, no, he cannot beat Swerve. Exactly. Etep. It will give Swerve the rub that he needs and deserves.
Yeah,
legitimize him.
His title run has been so weakly booked as it is. He needs this win. He really does.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I'm a big fan of his. I really like Swerve's work. Stands the Mexican standoff with the staple guns at Blood and Guts, but So I literally wrote down it wasn't good until Swerve came out. It was just nonsense.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
nonsense.
it was putting us to sleep, and then he walked out, and it was like, "Hello."
So Daniel Bryan ran into Double J, J-E, double F, J, A, double R, E, double cheat, double T. Jesus fucking Christ. Can we do that again? No, we're live, pal.
We're live, pal.
We're
No
live,
Crisco.
pal. Ran into Jeff Jarrett backstage and
Yeah.
basically says, hey, me and you next week, old man. Canada, I'll break your fucking hip. So he's going to work. The vegan is going to work the much larger and older Jeff Jarrett. And now Jarrett's got to put this sack of shit over.
And Jarrett's in way better shape, by the way.
Yeah,
before
he is.
being.
Oh my
older.
God. There's not even a comparison.
Which is weird because they were like setting Jeff Jarrett up to be like this face. So he's kind of going into this as the face, in my opinion. And Brian is kind of like the heel, I would assume.
Yeah. Manliness. If I act any more retarded, I'll have to worry about vampires. Oh no.
This guy.
Oh no. The only kind of vampires I'm worried about are these ones. That's why you see my headline? I make AEW marks cry. I do. They cry. So we've got MJF versus Felcher and Brian Veganson versus Double J next week so far on Dynamite. From there, we go to an Acclaimed promo. Wait, no, I'm sorry. There's a match. We have the Beast Mordos, not to be confused with Mortis, because he's Canyon's dead. Then we have Roosh and Roderick Strong with the Undisputed Kingdom against Mark Briscoe, Ishii, and Orange Cassidy with Kyle O'Reilly Auto Park.
Yeah, they're the conglomeration.
Yes, the conglomeration.
Wait a minute, Etep. Isn't it spoilers? Because who's deader than Canyon?
Nobody.
Nobody.
So this match, what do you want me to say? It's a trios match. It is a clusterfuck. Briscoe took the pin clean from Mordos after fucking Morador broke his neck. What the fuck move was that even did to him? It was,
I don't know, but it looked rough.
It looked very, very fucking rough. Jesus Christ. I was just watching that going like, what the fuck? But so they win, they go over, and then we go to an Acclaimed promo, and Jesus fucking Christ.
They're calling out FTR because FTR doesn't think their wrestlers are serious enough or some shit. And they're like, we won or helped win Blood and Guts, so yeah.
Well, you know what, Acclaimed? You can take your scissors. I'll just let the clip.
Except they didn't do shit.
What?
Except they didn't do shit. They got their asses beat in that match, and the only reason they won is because Darby was going to set somebody on fire.
That's right. So Acclaimed, your bullshit promo.
Heck up! Get up! That ain't gonna work for me, brother! Is that good?
Yeah, that ain't gonna work for me, brother. So we go next to Renee Moxley Good, and she is on the white sofas, right? They're on white sofas, and her and the very lovely and violent Mariah May. And this was, we got a lot of heat building up to the match. I mean, did this? I mean, I don't know. It's a Mariah May promo. She's nice to look at. I didn't really glean. There was really nothing to be gleaned from this.
Yeah, it was just kind of like
I said no wire hangers.
I went after her
we'll
because
get
I went
there.
after her kind of thing. Like there was no like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they were the questioning. I don't know. She just should have let Mariah talk. Like
It's like,
the
nothing we didn't know already, right?
yeah.
I just
It
saw
was-
jiggle, 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 something, something, something. They moved on their little couch sofa things a little bit. That's about it.
Yeah. We were
Yeah,
just
there was-
hoping she didn't shit herself.
Yeah, I mean those were white. Those chairs they were sitting on.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, I mean, that was very brave of Renee, and yeah, amazing.
Oh, and after that's when Tony Storm came out and went full Joan Crawford.
Yeah,
And
she looked like a
it was
main character almost.
Why?
She looked like she came out of New Japan.
it was
Well,
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
she
Murder
looked Cyndi
Grandpa.
Lauper. No, she looked like Cyndi Lauper circa 1983. Like Goonies are good enough.
Whoa, good. Now I'm gonna go put that Blu-ray on tonight and watch the Goonies. God damn it, Chris. But no, that was the Tony Storm shit is usually the best. And while Mariah May, honestly, I feel is a better, like a vastly superior worker in the ring. I really do. I think Mariah is a better worker. The promo game in the gimmick is not even close. Like Tony is still like, here's Tony
It's
Storm.
just kind of the start of Mariah May, like not being me. So we're let's let it cook a little bit, you know.
No, but it's all the other girls too. It's like Tony's here, and then all the other girls are like here.
Yep.
With in terms of like gimmick, that's nobody has what she has.
No,
like
Athena's pretty close with her minion thing and like the forever ROH champion. And
I don't think she's not there. No, and I like Tony. Like I said, she's not the best. I mean, not the best female worker they have, but I don't. There's no other female that can draw like she can. Is in terms of like her gimmick and how over it is. You know, it's fucking fantastic. Hey, BBC News. Wait. No. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
It's fucking bullshit.
Jesus. My deep condolences to Tony Khan's family. Jesus.
So we have after Tony cleans himself off the ramp, we got the piped in chants for Mercedes Mone with Camille, who is making her in-ring debut. And
the brick house.
Yeah, goddamn. She had to squash local talent, and could they have found a more perfect girl to contrast Camille with?
Yep.
Here is this. I don't know how tall Camille's. What, 5'6", 5'7", probably. She's built. She has an impressive physique. Not too muscular. Very athletic. You clearly tell she works out. She is
5'10".
5'10". Oh wow. Okay, she's taller than I thought. But they just put her against the doughiest little like local talent with like no tan, like garbage looking gear. And I wonder if Chase and Ranch trained her. Anyway, fuck you, Team Vision.
Probably not.
No. She looked like she was
she'd have put the thing on and gave it to him instead of the other way around.
She was above the age of 18. That Brittany Jade was. He would have no interest in that. But anyway. So Camille what did she do? She fucking speared this broad like right off the bat. Just fucking bum rushes her. Hit just some impressive power moves, and that was it. Just that's what it was supposed to be. It was a squash match. Camille is a less cut version of Jade Cargill with a million times more talent. Like that's what she is.
She was very impressive.
If Jade had any ability whatsoever, that's what she would be. It's not there. But no, so Mercedes cuts a promo beforehand, and yeah, it just afterwards, I don't know. Did she even say anything? I can't remember. I kind of blocked it out.
No, just that
someone's crazy.
DMD is like obsessed with her and all
that's
that
right.
stuff, and and that money basically makes basically kind of like what were you guys saying, the $1 Million Man with Undertaker, that kind of like shtick.
Yep. Yeah, and like yeah, that's right, because I said this as well. Having the muscle with the mouth is like Wardlow and MJF. And they did that whole thing. So I'll be fine with Camille squashing Mercedes eventually. When Tony Khan is Andy and he's dropping his toy because he doesn't want to play with him anymore, he's like, I'm through with you. That's gonna be the meme. It's gonna be Mercedes getting dropped. Let's see. So after that, we go to our main event for I almost said Impact. Dynamite. Our Dynamite main event. What did you call him? Bang Man? Brutal?
Yeah. Bang Man.
Bang Man broke back Adam Page versus the one of the worst Twitter accounts, Dorby Allen.
I forgot about Dorby Allen.
Right? So
he's such a mark.
Yeah. Hangman controls most of this match. He just beats the fuck out of the little crash test dummy who was crawling in his skin the entire time. And I said the most what was it? Oh, the most exciting part of the match was the blackout that happened during it. And I have let me pull that up. Jamie, we have that footage. We have that footage, Jamie. Well, I've got I got a still, but this is what happened during the main event on Dynamite. The fucking lights went out, and we were like, somebody says it's Sting.
If only.
This is my boy 313 Smark. That's my boy Josh from Detroit. He's got a pretty decent size Twitter following in the wrestling sphere. But yeah, that was the scene on Dynamite when their fucking lights went out. And let's see, Hangman, like they did everything. Darby tried to climb the fucking tunnel.
That fall away was sick.
Yeah. He hit the coffin drop off that. Page hit a fucking fall away and damn near threw him across the entire ring, which was fucking solid.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Then, let's see. Wait. I said the finish looked like Brokeback Mountain. What was that? I wish I could quit you. It was the I wish I could quit you finish.
Yeah.
Because they rolled around like they were fighting over who was the top and who was the bottom.
Yeah, especially the hardest part of the ring spot where he's like,
he power bombed him.
Yeah, he's power bombing him, but he was
power
like,
bombed him.
It looked like he was.
It looked like he was tossing
it to him. It looked like he was giving it to him.
Poking his chili ring. Yeah.
And he did it so many times. Like, oh my god, just fucking.
And at that point, Chris is
move on.
I was gonna leave if he reached forward and put his fingers in his mouth. I was just gonna leave.
Yeah.
Getting it to be too much.
oh god. So yeah, that's the finish was just ridiculous. So Dorby, but it was Hangman Page, so I don't mind seeing Dorby win. You know, it's nobody gives a fuck if Page loses. Like he doesn't have any. You show me somebody who's an Adam Page fan, legitimately, like they followed his career. You know what I mean?
Draven.
I just.
I mean, he'd be the only one that would know somebody that he could name. I don't know anybody.
As far as what?
Like Adam, like
That's literally
Adam
an Adam
Page
Page fan. Like I
fan,
would
you
know.
know what I mean?
Oh, just the marks.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he's so good. He's so over. It's like, what? Are we watching the same product?
Ain't nobody
Clearly
wearing
not.
Adam Page t-shirts, but
Yeah,
people
every
still
store
buy
I
it.
go to is all his figures are on the fucking peg.
Yep.
It's like,
Yeah.
nobody gives a shit about it. Like,
No,
you know,
they just sit there.
when Punk was there, what he said, that's true. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Like,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Adam Page doesn't draw a fucking dime.
no.
Half these guys don't.
No.
You know, so
And I'm a
that
Darby
was-
fan, and yeah.
yeah. And Darby Allin in a cruiserweight or light heavyweight division is fine. That's fine.
I don't
What he
like how
does
he got the world title shot in that thing. It's like he already has a TNT title shot. Like, why are we giving him another shot at the big boy title? Like,
Yeah. Yes, and he's
I'm
got a
fine with the
undercard.
TNT because it's basically
Yep.
a mid to like.
He's got a
and you can even
mid-card
use it as
title.
a cruiserweight title if you
Yep.
want to as well.
Yeah.
What's that one that Christian had? Right.
Yeah.
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 Exactly. It's perfect.
Didn't he get that one from Edge? No.
Yeah, he beat Edge.
Yeah. I was gonna say I thought he beat Edge for that, or Adam Copeland, or whatever the fuck you have to call him now. Yeah, Tony's right. Who remembers when the game absolutely destroyed Sting at WrestleMania, all because Sting was too afraid to face the Undertaker? God damn it, Tony.
He wasn't afraid. They just didn't want him fucking. They buried him. That's the problem.
Yep.
They were
Buried
Yeah.
Sting when he went over to the Fed.
They were afraid.
So that was Dynamite, and
Yep.
I mean, what?
When I used to, speaking of like little guys, when I used to backyard wrestle, my tag partner was like, how would it say at that time he was about Darby's size. So it was easy to like fucking like do pump handle slams and fucking do all kinds of moves to him. Like if we had our like we'd feud every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Like wrestling as a bigger guy wrestling, and then I'm not like you as tall as you, but you know I'm not as skinny as like a Darby. But it was always fun, like being able to just fucking manhandle and just destroy somebody. And the lighter the guy is, the easier it is to do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So.
But yeah, Dynamite was very, very lackluster tonight. You know, with the news, let me pull that photo up here. With Shane McMahon meeting with Tony Khan today, boys. That picture of him and Shane, that was that was intentionally leaked. There's no way that
they're trying to say it wasn't. They didn't want it leaked. I call bullshit.
Yeah. That's bullshit. They leaked that on purpose, and that's fine. Here's the picture right here. It's there's Shane over there, and there's Tony.
Whoopie doo dah day.
But no, honestly, if they bring, and Draven and I talked about this pretty much off and on all day. If they brought Shane in, okay, you bring Shane in, you give him, he's going to be the babyface authority figure who's eventually going to do a heel turn. And, you know, she's got, you know, Collision or whatever with the Elite. You have him as the backer for the Elite, you know, the benefactor, and you work it that way.
When he's babyface, you have him and MJF, and it'd be like Austin versus McMahon, basically.
Yeah,
to some degree.
Except for hopefully Shane doesn't blow a quad if they ever have to work. Please, Shane, don't do any leapfrog spots.
Yeah.
But I
No
think
Snoop Dogg.
no, Snoop Dogg won't be there to save you. They can't afford Snoop Dogg. Well,
Also, Shane is a wealth of knowledge of like the business and all
Yep.
that stuff too. So like, if this is Tony's sitting down, being like, all right, well, we gotta kind of right the ship here. Like, we need to start turning things around. Put more faith in our stock or whatever you want to call it, or credibility into our stuff for the networks and all that. So we have a little more leverage, because then people will want to, offer us more money when there's a new TV deal comes up and stuff like that. He could also be helpful for that as well.
I'm trying to see what the fuck is that, his shoe, or is that the table? What the fuck kind of shoes is Tony Khan wearing?
No idea.
Platform shoes?
Yeah. It looks like
Look at
he's
the
like
heels
Robert
on
De Niro in The Irishman. He's wearing lifts.
He's got Herman Munster shoes.
Yeah. He's got those Seth Rollins bitch boots on.
Those Darby Allin boots that look like fucking whatever the hell they are. I hate when he wears those. They look fucking retarded.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, what do you think the chances are Shane debuts before Wembley, if it's going to happen?
That would be the smart move. But you know how they are. They're not very smart. So if anything, they'll have him debut at Wembley instead of like having him debut before it and build that up and lead into it. And,
Yep. But, yeah, I think I look
like
at it
you were saying off air, like you could garner people to want to tune in or watch or buy more tickets to go see that if you build something up with Shane beforehand too.
Yeah.
I bet you MJF would go for it too. The whole, like you said, that McMahon versus Austin bit and shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's an old school, respectful kind of guy. Like he does the bits.
Oh
so
yeah.
he'd probably go for it.
As long as Shane doesn't try to do too much physically,
Mm-hmm.
Now there was some creative issues with him. Was it WrestleMania 39 backstage? There's been some creative issues with Shane.
Didn't he want to be the winner of the Rumble or some shit?
Some shit like that, yeah. But it's as long as Tony, this is the thing with him though. Shane is Vince's son, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a very, very strong-willed man, I'm sure. I think Tony, the mistake that Tony Khan could make is giving him too much juice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then what if that that gimmick starts to imitate? I don't know. I'm not saying
another Punk scenario. Is that what you're getting at, or?
Well, I don't know. Like some of the what up, Tony?
It's my squirty foam, thank you.
Oh my, sorry, my squirty foam.
Hey, squirty foam.
Were you just over on the other channel playing cart with the Leaks and Lamers?
Yes, they all think I'm hot.
Okay. Awesome.
All about fucking that bean for them.
Shane,
the smart thing to do is not sign Shane McMahon in the fucking first place.
Well, let's face it. You said the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
So
not the Tony Khan thing to do.
He's gonna rip a leg muscle setting up a 6-man tag. Like, no, it's gonna. It's dumb. It's just I don't know. I wouldn't. So I don't know. They have so much they need to do AEW from the ground up that it really doesn't matter. They could sign Jesus Christ and it's not going to help them. Like,
what if I know they have a lot of shit like creatively and all that stuff they need to work on, but what if by signing Shane they actually start listening, and that's why they're one of the reasons why they're signing him? You know what I mean?
Maybe, but even then I'd rather have Bret Hart in my corner than Shane McMahon when it comes to the wrestling business.
Yeah, but they already said fuck you to him.
Yeah.
Because they're retarded.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they will, but I mean, I'm just saying it's been there's a reason everyone growing up was like, "Oh, the company's going to go to Shane. It's going to go to Shane," and then it started leaning towards Stephanie and Triple H. Like, and Shane, he went off. He made his own money, and good for him, you know. But like, there used to be talk, like there'd be kind of snickers around the writer's room whenever Shane would come. Not whenever he'd come up with an idea, but when he. You know, he came up with some pretty outlandish things. He didn't have a great mind for the business, they said back then. And really, I mean, you can see that reflected in his work. Like, he doesn't do anything that other wrestlers haven't previously done. He was actually very guilty of taking other wrestlers' moves. And I, look, if that worked for him, you know, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, you know, one time Bret Hart was talking about Triple H and said, you know, Triple H can get in there and he can imitate others. He can do things in the ring and perform it right, but he's never done anything himself. He's never created anything. Everything he's done, the Harley race knee or whatever else, it's been done before. And Shane's the same way. You know, look, anyone can fly an airplane from point A to point B, but it's when the wing is smoking that you need that pilot's mind, and kind of the same thing here. So, I don't know.
Tony, devil's advocate to that. If they do sign Shane, do you think that, you know, it would help even away from wrestling with business and things like that with Tony Khan, new connections, new sponsors, new, you know,
talking
even
with networks, TV deals. Yeah, that might be more Shane's alley.
That's where I think he would be invaluable to Tony Khan, would be the connections part of it.
Yeah.
And he can open doors for Tony, and even talent relations, recruiting. You know, you might get guys that like Shane over in the Fed that their contracts are up and maybe they don't renew because hey, I can go over and I can be on Collision and Shane runs that show, and you know, whatever. Or you know, he's on Dynamite, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
just something to you know, think about. But no, I think there's merit to him working behind the scenes more so than in front of the camera. You want to pop a rating, bring him in, put him on TV for like a month or two, and then slowly fade him out and get him behind the scenes.
Even then, you're coming from this great McMahon dynasty. You know, you're the third generation. And usually they say it's the third generation that squanders the wealth. But
yep.
Why would you go be the houseboy for a spoiled young child whose daddy bought him a wrestling promotion? I'm sorry, but Tony, and that's not a dig at him. He reminds me of JP from Grandma's Boy. Like, he's an underdeveloped adult, and that's why so much goes on backstage. Like, he wants to buy everyone's friendship because he never knew as a kid when his birthday party was in Hawaii who was going because they were really his friend or just because they wanted to go to Hawaii. You know, it's lonely at the top, you know, and it's fucked up for a kid. And I mean, we're seeing how that plays out. Saying, why would you want to go be the houseboy for Tony Khan? Basically, be his bitch when you could go start your own promotion, I guess. Even if it may not be huge at first. I mean, I don't know.
I guess he just doesn't want to cough up the money for it. And he doesn't know what's going to happen in the future, especially with all that lawsuit bullshit.
That's true. And I was going to say, it's not like he's not working for Tony Khan because he needs the money. Because, I mean, he basically helped bring Disney to China, you know? So Shane's got money.
I didn't know that.
Unless it's his in to, like, they're going to do it. And Vince McMahon is going to come in and
there's too many marks having a wet fantasy over that.
Yeah.
No, it's someone who just he's because he's always loved that business.
Yeah.
I think he's fine just talking to the guy. And again, if he's going to come in and try to help out and help him with angles or do shit behind the scenes, or actually come out and I don't know, actually be something in front of the camera, it's still weird. The whole thing is bizarre.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett, he could help with angles better than Shane.
Yeah, you got a bunch of guys in the roster, especially the ones that came from the Fed that could help with that.
Well, even Christopher
What if-
Daniels backstage.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris. Sorry, bro.
Well, what if we're looking at it from a different perspective? Like, what if it's the beginnings of an acquisition and liquidation?
I would absolutely, and I don't even give a fuck. I would love it if if fucking Vince bought AEW. I don't give a
And be a
fuck.
competition or build it.
and just liquidated it.
I think it would be fucking hilarious if he bought it and then resold it.
Yeah.
Well, remember when Vince was talking about him making his own promotion just to go back up against his own creation to out of spite? He could acquire this, if that's what what Chris was alluding to, and then use this as a launching point because they already have 5 years of established fan base. You're already a little bit in, and then using his mind and stuff, you could
and a TV deal in place.
Yeah, exactly.
I see it as like, I mean, maybe this is just the black pill in me, but like the industry is dying. It's slowly getting less. It's not making the money it used to. So you have to reduce. You have to recede. And I think what they could be doing is buying up AEW because it's not like it's a blip on the radar, but it's not a huge threat to the Fed. Like WWE is just it is when you think of professional wrestling, that is the only show in town.
Yeah.
And I think what they might be doing is like I've seen this in other industries. That's the only reason why I'm saying this is that when there are perceived, they're not threats so much as disruptors in your industry. As it's shrinking, you have to shore up your businesses. Make sure that you are instead of just being the attraction in town, you are the only attraction in town. And all of that money that's going toward Wembley, all that money that's going towards all this other stuff, is money that could be going toward WWF. So what they could be doing, and I mean, we kind of talked about this when we were discussing like getting rid of Rampage or now like it's like you're not making the money. You got to recede. Like you got to go with the flow of the economy. You got to go with the flow of the business. And if this is what WWF is doing, in the sense that they're like, okay, we got to recede. It could be we got to get rid of the assholes that are taking the pennies from our tip jar.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it. You cut the roster down. I
Well,
say
we were
you
talking
go
about, like before you get to that, we were talking about off air about them potentially setting up shop in Texas.
Yeah.
With like ROH and stuff, sort of like how NXT is in Florida?
Florida, Full Sail University.
Yeah, and they just sit there and just use that as like a thing to do their tapings and stuff.
That's always a sign of a dying brand too. Like in the 80s it was one thing, but I don't know. Like they're slowly reverting to TNA. And this could very well be Shad Khan on the golf course with Vince McMahon. He's like, God damn it, Shad, your little pissant of a son doesn't know what he's doing. And Shad is like, my son, he's such a pussy. I grew up in Pakistan. I did my first car bomb by 9. And he's over here playing with fucking wrestlers.
Yeah.
So Vince is like, I'll send my boy in, we'll start it up, and we'll acquire the company. Shad.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say.
Yep.
You use Shane as your up front.
He's your bag man.
Well, that and because of the bad publicity with Vince, you don't want him being on
exactly
because of the negativity right now surrounding
because Vince's name is soiled.
Toxic.
Yep.
Yeah, it's toxic.
Soiled.
Yeah, right now until everything's dealt with.
Poop.
Yeah.
Doo-doo butter.
But no. Oh. But no, I think it's legitimate. Like you have to look at it like that. Like, and I'm not saying that Tony Khan's going to sell tomorrow, but
This
I
is all
mean,
speculation, by the
it
way.
is.
Yeah,
This
that's
is all,
total.
this is all speculatory on our part. You know, these are what ifs. But I mean, when you see somebody like Shane, and Vince and Shane aren't close. That's the thing.
No,
Or either that, or they're just very good at kayfabe. And
Well, they got into that argument at the
Mhm.
22 Rumble or 21?
22.
Yeah.
It was 22 backstage. Yeah. That was a big deal. So, but what if, Shane sees his dad, his legacy getting torn apart by his sister and Hunter, and you know what I mean? There's a lot. There's more obviously than we'll ever know. And yeah, we're speculating here. Did you guys check the private chat, by the way? Ricochet, speaking of people going to AEW, Ricochet, this is just check that out. I'm not wearing it, but my hat is off to you, sir. That's all I'm gonna say. Look at that. Yeah,
Who's
Ricochet's Samantha Irvin, the ring announcer. From
the one that was
WWE.
crying.
Holy shit.
Mrs. Ricochet, soon to be. What a lucky man.
Can I have two of her?
Right? But no, it's intriguing to see all this shit happening with Shane. Who knows? We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, so I mean, we got a couple matches set up for next week now on Dynamite. Belcher and MJF. I'm kind of MJF's going over clearly.
Of course.
And then you got Jarrett and Brian next week. Like I said, Brian should lose that match.
Another. What you said, Jarrett and Brian?
Jeff Jarrett, yeah.
Jesus, another pay-per-view match. Just here you go.
Yep.
It means nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, which is stupid because they're setting Jeff Jarrett to be like a baby face, like kind of being supportive in Daniel Bryanson's quarter. And then he comes back after the swerve guy in his face and fucking Jeff Jarrett's about ready to, give him some praise or whatever.
Yeah.
And he like flips shit out of him. He's like, "You want to fight me? Let's go!" And fucking, they're gonna fight.
Yeah, it's like, where the fuck did that come from?
It's like, okay.
Yeah, that was out of fucking left field. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, that was Dynamite. Overall, very lackluster show.
Jeff Jarrett was in Life with Mikey. You can't just throw him on free TV. Life with fucking the original MJF, Michael J. Fox.
I forgot about that. Oh my god. Yeah, what a
Oh, this is funny.
What?
I'll share it here. Give me a second.
All right. But I mean, while he's getting that set up, I just let me give the entire show an emphatic.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
No.
It says Brian Danielson might not wrestle again, but he can. Dirk Dick Butt.
Oh my god.
Tony put that up?
No, some random person.
Tony,
don't worry.
Sounds like you. I think that's your alt account.
Yeah, he's gonna go to another promotion, and he's gonna be was it Dick Dirk Butt?
Yeah, Dirk Dick Butt, but
and Dick Dirk Butt. Yeah, like.
And I'm doxxed. Oh. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Tony's burner confirmed.
Yeah.
Oh god, but yeah, that's about it, gang. Lackluster show. This is not the way you want to kick off the first week of your last month build to your biggest show of the year.
Last week was better. despite it being blood and guts.
We'll agree to disagree on that one.
The MJF shit was better.
Hold on,
They threw the Intercontinental Championship in the trash.
their biggest show of the year is in a month.
Yeah, the 25th.
Why aren't they building up Jarrett and Brian for that? Like two legends, two smaller guys, but two guys who can definitely, you know, they're masters of their craft from two different generations, meeting head to head in the ring with great build up. I mean, this is the problem with AEW. TNA was never handed like wonderful opportunities like AEW is. They've had opportunities, yeah, they've signed some names, whatever. Usually those names had seen better days though. But I mean, the opportunities AEW has and squanders astounds me, because again, they have all the ingredients to make a wonderful stew, and instead they just make slop.
Yeah. No, you're right.
That should be a big deal. Jeff Jarrett, Daniel Bryan, the match we thought we'd never see, the match you never even knew you wanted, but at the show they'll show you that you do, you know, and put on just this spectacle. But
well,
no,
they can book
TV.
Yeah, they can book like certain things, but they're like order of what they do things in is like fuck. Like like this is a decent match. Like it's a good idea. It's a good match. But like you said, free TV. But then it's like they should have had this first and built to the Swerve versus Danielson match, like maybe before last pay-per-view. And do it that way. That like their ordering is like off or something. It's like they don't know where to place shit. Like they have good ideas as far as what matches and who they want to fight each other, but then like the placement of that stuff is like they just throw it up in the air and just where it lands. You know,
they don't know how to tell a story.
Yeah,
there's no ability to tell a story. You can put on a match, but nobody's gonna remember a match. You remember the build.
And I feel like some of the stories that are over there right now, those talent have the biggest say, and they're the reason that those stories are over. Like Tony Storm, for example, MJF, you know, they're fighting for what they want, and they're like being like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And they can back it up. They can be like, all right, well, if you're not going to give me this shit, then I'm just going to I'm out. You know? So.
Yeah. Absolutely. So that's that was Dynamite and some analysis of the current state of AEW, the Shane McMahon situation. Thank you everybody for watching, and if you want to send us stuff to the PO box, because we got a great shipment from Sean Estep. Here you go. So that's it, gang. Thank you for watching. I'll have some videos the next couple days, a few more shorts planned. No Tales from the Crypt tomorrow. I got my schedule will not allow for that. We'll be here Saturday night though. SummerSlam. We'll start our coverage around 6:45 Eastern. It'll be interesting to see what kind of shape I'm in, because we'll be on the boat all day Saturday. So by 6:30 we'll see, but it'll be a fun night. I'm looking forward to that, and we'll have more AEW coverage next week unless Draven has to work, in which case Wednesday night will be Andy Sedaris night
next week too.
Okay, all right, because next TerrorVision's back next Tuesday. I watched Abigail. Trina and I will be reviewing that, and we'll have Nitro on Monday. Go over to the Patreon, patreon.com/Wrestling with Horror 420. Just uploaded Hard Hunted on there, and I will upload Do or Die and all the other fun stuff tomorrow. We got show after the show. The Dynamite from tonight will be uploaded. And channel members, you're going to get a video by Friday. I'll have one for you. And if you haven't seen it yet and you're a channel member, I did a re-edit for the, was it Do or Die? Do or Die. I did a trailer re-edit for that. So that's it, gang. I'm going to get some sleep.
And tomorrow I'm going to be over on Stone Loki's on his. It's going to be, I believe, 8 p.m. 7 Central. So tune in, check it out. Should be a good time.
Oh yeah.
All right. And everybody's links are in the description. Thank you, everybody in the chat, watching on the replay. Make sure you're subscribed. I'm Etep from Wrestling with Horror. Remember, it's always better to burn out than fade away.